Welcome to my newly redone reviewing space. As you can see, things are set up to look amazing and be absolutely useless. So, let's continue. Alright, here we have the Yamaha HPH-MT220. Rolls off the tongue. And they are Yamaha's higher end offering for a closed, I don't know if you call it style can. I mean, they've got a very Onyx, like OXO, you know, the company that makes like orange peelers and potato mashers. They kind of have that sort of weird styling going for them right now. Big ugly headband that actually, as big as it is, does not have a lot of cushion in it. It's pretty much like that much, and then it's just hard plastic under it. I could tell you how much these cost, but then it would ruin the review a little bit. Now, they're not entirely built poorly. They're pretty solid, but they're not... Wow, that's sharp. Oh, that's so sharp. There are like edges on here. Like, you see how these sharp... Remember the Oppo PM3s? I'm like, oh, wow, those sharp edges look like they belong there. No, these don't. It's like they cut this plastic and then just left it. So... for what you're paying, you're not getting top shelf stuff as far as build goes. Attached wire, attached coiled wire into a 1/4 inch full size, and there is an adapter, or at least there should be an adapter. Actually, wait, I just saw in the box. Just saw in the box here. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm dumb. Look at that. I've had these for like weeks. Okay, so it's just a full-size screw-on that I could not tell it was not one of those. I'm done. I quit. Quit my whole job. Now, they've got a pretty severely raked angle. You can see there is left, and that's where it's going. And the pads are only adequate. I know exactly what's going to happen in the comments of this video. I can predict the future. I'm like a seer. You're going to say, well, how do these compare to? And I'm just going to list every headphone I've just fucking reviewed, because that's what you're all going to ask me. M100s, Oppo PM3s, MSR7s, the HP150s, that other one, PSB ones. M4U. I can't. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit because you're all gonna ask me those questions, and I can't stop you. But I don't have to answer them either. Now, indeed, these are closed, and indeed they are roughly the same price as those other headphones, and indeed they would be a competition. These just don't have a removable cable or actual style, or the sort of comfort that those had. So I'm going to put these a tier lower automatically. So if you're looking for a comfortable, well-built, any of those, we're sort of like, not completely uncomfortable, but after about a half hour, I just dug out my bright red HM5 pads and threw them on here. And they do go on just fine. I also did order a bunch more of the HM5s in velour, angled velour, and hybrid. So we'll be able to put those on things soon. And of course I have on the... Don't do that. What I'm doing. Don't do that. Here are my extra set of alpha pads. Because for $60, I will literally snoo with them. Just for that. I don't even have to use them. So I could throw these on anything you'd like as well in the future. Like, how do these work with this? And I'll know because I have a pair. Just sitting around on those crazy modified ships. Now, these don't sound bad. For how they're built and the featurelessness of them, which, you know, a detachable cable is like basic. It's just, I shouldn't even review things that have attached cables. The DT770s and these, come on. The Takstar 2050s and Pro 80s, just make it detachable. We'll all pay the extra $2. But The sound is actually excellent. Now you're going to come up with, is it better than the MSR7 HP150 M4U18389174449? How about the Sennheiser's Momentum 2s? And you know what? I can't answer those questions. I can't, because those headphones aren't here. And as hard as I reviewed them, and I've watched my reviews so hard, they're not here to A/B. And even if they were here to A/B, you're talking about to really give you finite details of what's different would require about 40 minutes of going back and forth between the two different headphones. Every headphone to figure that out. So all headphone reviews from now on will be on their own. And if you want to ask if there's a comparison, that's fine, but I may not answer you. So let's plug these in, because I need to constantly now, I've heard so many that I need to constantly remind myself how things sound. Your ear, they're not deep enough, and your ear just smashes into the inside of this, and you could feel there's an angled driver in there. I could pull one off and show you if you'd like, but I think you get it. It's just plastic with an angled driver, and it's just like, oh, it's not bad. It's not uncomfortable until it is uncomfortable in about 40 minutes, and then this headband does jack shit. All right. At this song, there might be this song sounding like ass. Hold on. Currently amplifying with a Lycan Supreme Sound, or Supreme Sound Lycan. These are on the Burson website, and I was sent this to review, so that's coming up. I could also switch to the Dark Voice here, the 336, to give you a little bit of a tubey sound, because finally a real tube amp. And of course I'm using my XDA2 as my DAC, and I'm pushing Wasapi out from Fubar into these as a splitter going out for each of these. And everything is peachy keen. Bass is M50 strong. Alright? Now, I'm actually getting another set of M50Xs to test. Finally, it's been like 2 years. So, I will have the M50s here again to verify, but the bass in these reminds me of those, in that it's just it's cock slapping your eardrums. Not in a bad way, though. See, that's the thing. The M50s did that, and it was enjoyable for a short period of time, and then you got worn out by everything else. These, which I'm wearing them, describing them, which is interesting. I should have a mirror here, but that would ruin the whole mystique. These have that low end. Let me see if I can jump to a song that actually has some that isn't 38 Special, doesn't have that. Epic Score. Let's try another one. Yeah, these have... They're a little bit too tight. They're a little bit too close to the M50s as far as width goes. I could actually hear soundstage in him, but not to the extent that I did on any of the other fashion cans that I reviewed. So they've got really strong, solid low end, and they're not too wide. Then the highs come in, and here's the thing about the highs. They could get on your nerves, like in your teeth. Your teeth might just give up. Like that. Would not want to go through some of the Andrews sisters with them. Yeah, these are basically M50 clones with slightly better, I don't know, something's better. Then again, I could be completely wrong, and it might just be M50 clone. I mean, I was surviving with them, so I didn't, look, my wrists are not bleeding. So they're obviously not M50s, but I will say, when I put on the big ugly red donuts, and they're not ugly until you put them on, two things happened. Soundstage opened up, and those highs that were there sort of backed off just a touch. Just a touch. And I wasn't sure, because I had these on for like 2 weeks, because I couldn't wear them without these on for any length. And when I just switched back before this review to these pads, I realized that, oh my god, the highs got worse. So these will dull the highs a little bit. And unfortunately, they'll also bump up the bass, which I say unfortunately, but some of you people are lunatics and you love that just brown note that makes you shit your pants. And these will help you accomplish that. I don't have here right now any of the velour versions of these. And I think those might help even more. The only thing I have up here these are actually the ship pads, the SHPs, when you pop off the little clips. They come with this solid plastic ring. So you can just do things with them. And so I'm not sure if going velour on these would be an improvement. But then again, we're talking about closed cans. Obviously monitors. They're designed to be studio monitors. I say monitoring. So that's why you get the coiled cord. That's why you get the attached cable. They're designed to sit in the studio and you're supposed to reference, I'm mixing the next Deadmau5 album. What am I hearing? And they're that. And that's what the M50s did. But that was one of the reasons I didn't like the M50s. So am I giving these a negative review? Sorta. For the money they cost, they are probably really good for monitoring. But that's it. Like maybe find them on sale. But for pleasure listening, I'm gonna probably say no. The other ones I reviewed are just, they're there to give you pleasure, and these are there to monitor shit. So pleasure, shit pleasure. Right? These are for shit. These are for work. No one wants to go around and drive around the park in one of those little golf carts that's for picking up garbage, because that's for work. You want to drive around in the quad with the 400 cc's and do burnouts, because that's for fun, for pleasure. This is work and pleasure, and these are more towards the work end of a headphone than the pleasure end, which is why the styling is almost irrelevant. The comfort, however, should not be irrelevant, especially if you're going to work in these things. So, I don't know, Yamaha. You need to step up your pad game a bit. Figure out what the human ear looks like. Was it asymmetrical, or did I just have them on twisted? I have them on just twisted a little bit. Yeah. Sharp edges and no features. And the sound is... If you're an M50 fan and you want to try something different, this probably isn't your headphone, because this is just M50s with slight tweaks. And I'm saying that not believing myself, but I'll know in a week or two when the M50Xs show up at my door exactly how right I am. Exactly how right I am.